what are the Colts doing? Starting out 0-3. Wentz playing hurt. He's in
Extremely
the
hurt.
third string. JT not getting the ball.
Keep going.
I don't
Play
know, man.
calling is terrible. I
Play
mean, there's
calling,
just
red zone, third downs. Brett Hundley's a second stringer on our team. What is up?
yeah, a lot of stuff going wrong. Colts fall 0-3. We're 0-1 in the division to the division favorite. We talked about it last episode. Um, but honestly, it's the same thing as the first 2 weeks. There's like been one point in the game where you're like, okay, we're in the game, and like we got to do one thing right that drive or get that stop, and it just never happens, and that's why we're 0-3. And we have some stuff to talk about. We highlighted some stuff here. We'll talk about each individual tab, and then
Yeah. So I want to start off with the play calling. I don't understand what's wrong. Like I feel like they're not bad at play calling as coaches, but they are now.
yeah.
Like I feel like they were good, but for some reason they just are calling weird stuff. Why are we throwing almost 40 times a game, or 40? We threw 37 times, I think, and Wentz is hurt. Why?
Okay, so how
Give
about
JT.
this? We briefly talked about it before, but I was just watching Naheem Hines' press conference and then Coach Reich's press conference, and they said there was a lot more runs called that got checked at the line because the Titans are loading the box. So I don't know much about defense and like what you show. Can you load the box and then like can you like fake that and then not like have like a run heavy defense? Because
I
is
would
that just
assume so.
bad checks by Carson Wentz? Because all these runs, more runs were called, and then Carson is checking them out of the run because they're loading the box. Like,
I think he's very. I don't know. He didn't look very smart. Obviously, we realized that when he's adjusting at the line, he's getting sacked. So initially, what I'm thinking maybe is I don't know that because it kind of like defeats the purpose. If they're blitzing, you would think he wouldn't. I don't know, like he would know it.
yeah,
So,
like, would it be a
um,
good idea? Like, do you always have to check out of a run when the box is loaded? Like, I don't even know exactly what that means, but is that always like a
well,
guaranteed
what he's
stop?
saying. So basically, what he's saying, I know it's because of Madden and obviously played football, but they so the box is basically the linebackers
And
and the
the
linemen,
lineman, yeah,
obviously.
yeah, yeah,
So when you got overly crowded with a lot of people, it's not spread out. Usually those inside zone runs are not going to work. If you're running a halfback dive, stretches might.
yeah. Get
Um,
to the outside.
the thing is, you got JT at the running back position. He's gonna like,
That's my point.
um,
Is it? Do you always have to check out of that into a pass and have yourself who's making the checks with two sprained ankles have to pass more? Like
if I'm Carson, I'm saying I want to. You got JT. If I'm JT, I'm looking at Carson and saying, look, I could be the best running back in the league
he
behind
averaged
Henry
6 yards
probably.
a carry yesterday. He had 10 for 64.
Yep,
Like
yep.
we saw the plays he was running off the Rock Ya-Sin
Longest run of
fumble.
this season.
Yeah, like 20 some yards, but off the Rock Ya-Sin fumble, he had 1 yard for one carry for 9 yards. Next play, one carry for 5 yards, and then we throw it three times in a row, punt. Like
It's just
the dude picks up 14 yards and
mm,
two carries, and you go three straight passes.
it's so just frustrating to watch. I mean, your defense stepped up. And
Sort
that's
of.
really about it.
Your
And
defense
they
stepped
stepped
up,
up.
sort of.
They stepped up when they didn't need to.
Two
I
of the
mean,
turnovers were give me them like easy ones. Like we'll take them
yeah.
obviously, but
One of them came after the hitting the punter too, so
yeah, that's a
that
good
might have
point.
not been there. So
Yeah, exactly. And then when we needed them to get the Titans off the field, they drove it the whole length. Took all like 6.5 minutes off in the fourth quarter. We used all three timeouts at the end of that drive when we needed them to get the ball back to the offense fast, and they didn't do it. So they stepped up. The offense didn't. I don't think it's more of the defense stepped up. It's the offense didn't cash in on the turnovers. They did one. I think we got our one touchdown on one turnover, and then the other two we didn't do anything with it. So it's kind of on both.
I guess you can look at the bright side. Carson Wentz has only thrown one pick this season. Um,
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, it's
yesterday
not.
you saw more of when he would normally try and extend with his legs, he would just ground the ball, and one of them he got an intentional
Yeah.
grounding, but he wasn't trying to force much things yesterday, which I mean I can take, but
I don't like that they're not using. So I read a comment about this on Instagram, and it made me like really happy that I'm not the only one. We're not the only ones that have been realizing this. Basically, it's the Colts are not very good at developing players, and no, like for example, Mo Ali Cox is not getting used. Jonathan Taylor, obviously they're using him, but not like they should be. We got Paris Campbell, which has also come off an injury. He has 2 receptions for 9 yards. Like Paris Campbell, I don't know if he's really at full potential right now, but coming in the league as when he was coming from college like 3 years ago, whatever, he was like an insane athlete. So I
Yeah.
mean, Naeem Hines, I feel like is just someone
I
that
mean, you
Frank
also
Reich
have
is just
Jacob
loving.
Eason, who you used a draft pick, and you're
Yes.
choosing not to. He should have started and played this game. Wentz should not have played. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. We might have all wanted Wentz to play just for, but no, Wentz should have sat out, gave Eason this. That gives Carson way more time to prepare and be healthy for maybe next week. Because even the Dolphins, if we don't want to play Wentz against the Dolphins, we don't. They're not. That's the easiest game we've played so far. So I would put Eason at that game as well. But
Yeah, and
Eason, like it goes back to your thing about developing players. Is
yep.
we have this rookie quarterback or I still call him a rookie, but last year was his rookie year, but he never played because we
He
had
like
Phillip.
basically redshirted last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, I agree. And you're not confident in Eason, and the way we can tell because you activated Brent Huntley, who you had cut after training camp. You called him back up, and then you have him as the backup yesterday. And because Frank Reich says it's because of experience. That's his thing,
He's
experience.
experiencing losing,
Yeah,
literally. Like, but I was gonna bring this up as well. I might be the only one. I don't understand. I think Isaiah Rodgers is a great player. I never see him, dude. Like, I don't understand. I feel like I don't know. I could be completely just wrong with this,
I
but
mean he plays a lot of
last year
special teams, but I think he's out there all the time. Pretty sure.
I don't know. Is he there on defense? Because like I don't, all I
I
remember
think so.
was he came in the Bills games on defense. Yeah, let me look at the starting defense.
I know
I
he's a
think
big
Xavier
special
Rhodes
teams.
came back, and I was thinking Xavier Rhodes wasn't playing, so never mind. He might
Yeah.
have played the week before. I don't know. I like him. That's all I want to say. Is I
Isaiah
like.
Rogers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's an
same.
insane athlete. So
I think he's playing more than you think.
probably I'm just not seeing him make plays. I guess I don't know.
So let's talk
DeForest
about go ahead.
DeForest Buckner looked nice too. I was just gonna say that.
DeForest Buckner looks nice, but our edge rushers have zero presence. Kwity Paye left the game early with a hamstring.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah, like I think we had 2 quarterback hits. We have Ryan Tannehill running for 20 yards a pop, not sliding, dodging tackles in your secondary.
Literally not sliding.
You have Ryan Tannehill leaving the pocket. I want you to make him feel it. Like, crack that man. And Darius Leonard doesn't want to. I think Darius Leonard's playing hurt, though, but that's another topic. But let's talk about our red zone. Why are we the worst red zone team in the history of NFL?
I don't know exactly why, other than I think one, I haven't seen us throw one 50-50 ball like ever.
Remember,
You see that?
in the red zone?
Yeah. Like I'm talking like snap, up, fade, like I'm saying.
Yeah. That's where
That's
you
one
want to
thing. I
use
don't.
Mike Strong, but Mike Strong wasn't even active this week.
Yeah, that's not like the main reason. I'm just saying that's something that I've realized we don't run that
We
play at
don't
all.
even attempt it. That's the problem.
If we don't run it on first down, I don't think we're gonna run it ever again. Um, I've
Unless it's a
noticed
fourth
that.
and one or a fourth and inches or something like that.
Yeah, I've noticed that if we basically what I think this is what goes through Frank Reich said. This might not just be the red zone, but I think if we run it, we throw it on first down at 2nd and 10. He doesn't want to run it because we don't want to be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. We don't want to be put in third in that situation.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know. That's what I kind of thought when I watched him play. That could be so wrong, obviously, but that's the only thing I can think of why we don't run it a lot. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
want to be sitting in a third down. I don't know. But
Also, one thing about this game, we mentioned it. We're +3 in the turnover margin, and we lose by double digits. That shouldn't be realistically possible,
technically it wasn't double digits, but
or double figures, right? Or was it 9? Or it was
it
two
was
scores, is what
9.
I'm saying. 2 scores.
Yeah, 2 scores. Yeah,
That's what I meant to say. But that is how is that possible? You get 3 takeaways.
because you'll execute when you get the ball, and then you let them go down like 2 plays and get a touchdown next
Yeah.
drive.
Like it's just It's a lot of the things that were usually there: the offensive line, the defensive consistency, an edge rush, wide receiver play, a healthy quarterback that is
Yep.
not there, and it's causing us losses. And I think some of the decisions aren't being made correctly. I want to ease up a little bit on the play calling because learning that a lot of stuff got checked out,
Yeah.
I want to throw that on Carson Wentz. Philip Rivers was one of the smartest players in history, and it was good to have him last year checking stuff out and doing everything. But I think Carson's checking out of bad things. I think he
I feel
sees
like
some of
he's
the wrong stuff.
Yeah, I think what was happening was I noticed a lot when you see the quarterback, like for example, the outside linebackers, safeties coming down, crashing down. I think what that was they were showing fake blitzes maybe, and because
That's
I
what I
did
asked
see
earlier.
that.
Can they disguise a lot of stuff and then?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where they got like fake cover twos, fake cover
Yeah, yeah.
like they got
So
that certain
Carson's out
thing.
there getting joked, and then you said it earlier too for a second. He would make a check, and then there'd be a free rusher that would sack him. He's
Yeah.
checking the complete wrong
Go
things.
back and look at like if you guys are watching this and you guys really are into this right now, like go back and look at the highlights when Carson Wentz gets sacked. He's making the adjustment at the line right
And
before
you would
every
know
time.
because it's obvious. He's doing all the hand gestures. He's walking out to his receivers, talking to the running backs, changing the formation, snapping it at the end of the play clock, and getting sacked. Like the plays that he is
Or
changing
throwing it down the
to,
ground.
yeah, are not right, and he's costing. Run the ball. I can't believe. I've said it so many times. I've tweeted it. I can't believe that with your starting quarterback with 2 sprained ankles and you have 18 combined rushes all game. Jonathan Taylor has 10 and the average 6 yards a carry. How is he
And
not running for 25 to 30 times in that game?
the thing that irritates me as well is I think the Colts needed away from their, for example, when we're running it, we're also running it straight up the middle like every time. I think that's what I've seen. And if we're running it to the outside, it's always a jet sweep, like or not really a jet sweep, but the little toss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's like that. I don't think we have anybody on our team that's fast enough other than Hines to do that.
Or Campbell,
Um,
but we're not utilizing Campbell.
yeah, you don't use Campbell at all.
It
Um,
goes back to what you said of we need to use the right players.
and Ashton Dulin, I'm not really sure how fast he really is because honestly, I just don't know him too much as a player. But
Yeah,
he was the one getting those, and he got hurt. But like, you don't want to see. Okay, I guess I did Pittman get one. I'm thinking Pittman
I
got
don't
one. That's what
remember.
irritated me. I could be so wrong, but yeah, actually, I think Pittman got yards on it. I don't know, but yeah, I don't like that kind of offense. I mean, that's the way he runs it. I think get get the stretches out, get the power to the side, get maybe an inside zone or like a sweep like from Taylor coming in. I don't know.
Yeah. Remember
Do
last episode he
something.
talked about how Jonathan Taylor is really good at running it from the shotgun. When you
Uh-huh.
have Wentz that had his 2 sprained ankles, he's not under center. He can't do the dropbacks. A lot of the snaps yesterday were out of the gun.
Every single one almost,
Right
except for
there. Give it to him.
Taylor. Taylor took one at the fullback position. You see that one?
Yeah, on that fourth down. And it
I
worked.
was so
When they go
confused.
two back, it's pretty efficient. When they have Hines
Let's
and
go
Taylor
two
out
back.
there,
Yeah, let's go two back. Let's put Taylor up
everyone's
front. Let's
preaching
put.
it, man, and they're just not doing it.
I want to see. This is the thing. Okay, we've been talking about the Colts for a long time right now on this podcast, but the thing that I want to see next week is I want to see what kind of adjustments we make. I don't even know if Wentz is gonna play. We haven't even. I don't know. I don't know what's up with him. Apparently he was hurting so bad that he couldn't even sleep at night. I don't even know why you'd play if that's the
He
case.
didn't get a full night of
Um,
sleep all week, and we played him.
yeah, that's what he said. He said he was just completely fucked up because of it. But anyways, I want to see one when they play the Dolphins. Dolphins are a team that I noticed that end up beating the Colts no matter what, no matter the situations. Like I remember 2 years ago, I was at your house, Bailey,
Yep.
whenever the Dolphins beat the Colts. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing is I want to see how Frank Reich goes out there. Does he listen? Does he run it? I mean, I feel like this week was an easy week of like fans being like, you need to run the ball more. Like other than the weeks where they
It
get,
couldn't
I
be
don't know.
more obvious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I
And
think
how does an
Frank Reich.
NFL not coach not how?
This is what I want to see. If it kind of part of me wants me to see Wentz sit and see a like if Hunley or Easton plays which one. I want to see what he does with Taylor. Does he
Yeah.
really give him the ball 15, 20 times, maybe 25 times? I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but that game that Taylor had like 250 yards against the whoever
Jags.
they were playing that one game. Did they have how many carries did he have? Like 25, 30?
I don't remember.
He had to have like
That's what's. It's not like it's the way that Jonathan Taylor ended last season, being I think over the span of like the last like 7 to 10 games, he was the number one running back in the league. He had the streak of like 75 plus yards a game, more than anyone in the league, and he finished third in the league. How does Jonathan Taylor come off a season like that, come into this season, and it's like he's a rookie again, and you don't know what you have in him? You know what you got out of Jonathan Taylor. Give him the ball, let him
Run
work.
the damn ball.
Put the hat on, Frank Reich. I know you got one in your office. Put it on and walk out to practice and run the damn ball.
All right.